they've started it, but we want to be participants, in this process. So what are we supposed to be doing? Show up to my public, hearings. Either wakaita physically or virtually, let us be there. Because those numbers, they do matter. Our presence matters. Because if you remain silent, that silence can be interpreted as you giving consent to whatever it is, that is going on. So if there's an opportunity to be attending, these public, hearings, let us show up. Let us be there. Because our participation, matters. And also let us, read this amendment here. And even listen to commentaries. Even listen to those, fundis in constitutional, matters. Because some of them, they are good at summarizing, the bill. You don't necessarily have to have a law degree in order for you to understand whatever it is, that is going on. You just need to understand that what changes are being proposed, how these changes are going to be affecting you as an individual, your rights, your community, and your future. That is what is, quite, important. So read, be knowledgeable. It is quite important that, we do that as my citizens. I know one going to change, but let us try. Let us participate. Your participation is not saying Gudizo, you're going to be rubber stamping, what they're doing. You are participating there because you have to. If there's an opportunity for you to even make a submission, ingave the paragraph, kana ingave kana karika voice note, kana ingave ritsamba chaicho yekunyora, kana kuita kuma community petitions. Because zvandimukuona kuti nyaya dzekuenda kumatare dzimotwa ndo some of the examples. Iwe ndo participation yacho inenge irikuitika iyoyo. Kana kandidzo kune WhatsApp groups ariko, just send my messages. Kune designated channels acho avanenge ndingivashandisa. Because zvakati tine advantage yekuti tane virtual, platforms that can be created, for the purposes, of this. What is important is for you to make a submission. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just be honest, with your submission. Ukapiwa mkana if the opportunity, arises. If you know kuti izo ndingizviitirwa kupi. Pamunoziva bebe kuti izvo kwakati kune a public, hearing. Mobilize, the community. Let us get people involved. Explain the process to your neighbors. Go to the churches, church groups, WhatsApp groups, youth clubs, workplaces, wherever you can think of. Because what we want here is constitutional, literacy, and that has to move from one individual to another. Move it, spread it, one individual from person to person, individual to individual. Make it happen within your communities. It is quite, important. This is why I want to strive on bringing in people that can articulate, these things clearly. We record everything. We spread, the news. Zvipinde WhatsApp group kuti vanhu vangakwanisa kunzwisisa. We've opened up your WhatsApp channel. I'm trying to summarize or I'm not saying what I'm doing is the best, because I'm good at what I'm doing, but I'm just saying we just need to be doing that. Don't want to kutsanangura, don't want to say, but the essence of that, or what I intend to do, is to make sure kuti izo message iri kupinda muvanhu. Saka kwese kwatawana message yatinoziva kuti this is an important message. Let it be the habit to be just be moving the message around. Inosvika chete kwamuda kuti izonenge isvike message. Hakuna, especially my messages aya, hakuna anoabloka ka. Kana ichinge yafamba yafamba. And above all, we need to hold that parliament to account. We can approach them. Tibe my hearing in schedules. 90 days in Zakwana. Right now, people should be bombarding them with my request. We want to hear my hearing schedules actually high. Because that way, it is going to enhance, transparency. Because one one's wanza. Who's kwanga kune hearing in ngikudotito. Apa hapana arikuziya wekudotito kwacha hapana arikumbozia. And number one. Saka, we also need to make sure that wherever you are, make, inquire, track whether when you are being consulted, fairly. We need, reports. Kana muri kuona kwavari kuita zvese nenge zvavari kuita, make it known, make it be public, and we can make noise about it. That is, the best, that we can do. Right now, my groups are Tendai Beat, team, they're organizing. What are they doing? They're organizing, on the ground. Join those. Be part and parcel of those. I've seen the news. Have I saw a statement now? Political parties are now becoming, more and more, coming in. So we need to be all hands on the deck. We need everyone to be participating. We need everyone to be part and parcel of this, process. Where things are not working, where things are not going according to how they're supposed to be, going, challenge that. Make noise about it. Because let us be clear, whatever it is, must not be a rubber stamping, process. It must not be turned into a political rally like what they normally do. We must resist that. It must not be a process for my elites only, or those who are inside, or those who are the chosen few. And these moments that we are about to experience and endure, the moments that should not be used for intimidating or silencing, people. We don't want that. What this is, what this is not a referendum, but an opportunity for people to voice out their concerns, to air out their grievances, to pinpoint out the things that they believe are wrong with what is about, to be happening. I know not everybody is against what is about, to be happening. Some are in favor of what is about, to be happening, and you are going to be seeing those making the noise that go hand in hand with what is about, to be happening. And we are already, seeing that. Ndangaichipindura nani kine munin'ina wangu nibashona ameno arondedzero yavo ndinge vanyora vakasaita kesi yemalava judgment vachiti chinhu ndechaemerson ndikati aiwa kana aiba munini judgment iye kaka yange rinaro kaendi technical and is a judgment yaenderana ne-age limit ka is not necessarily a term extension. Izvi zvatikatarisana nazvo zvekuchinja extension yeterm, and that is something that needs to follow the constitutional processes that are supposed to be followed, culminating in the holding of my referendum. If we want Emerson to be benefiting from that, then we have to make sure that there are two more referendums. Anofanira kunge achiitwa. Saka that right there, ladies and gentlemen, has to be the key message that has to go out there, because we know what chinhu ichitika ichi, unless the constitutional court steps in right now and stops it in its tracks, then this process is expected to go all the way. But our fight has to say, kuti, we want to be participants, and we want to be in a position to participate via two referendums. One that extends, the term limit, the other that enables Emerson Mnangagwa to be benefiting. Unless they just get rid of 328 subsection 7 and 8, both of them they get rid of those clauses before they do. But for as long as those killer clauses are still in there, we must be insistent, and we must demand that you want to make a constitutional change unconstitutional. And that is what we want to be fighting against. The making of a unconstitutional constitutional change. Because if they deprive us of a referendum, that is unconstitutional. So it renders everything null and void. And we must be fighting, we must be pushing. If the courts rule in our favor as as people, but if the courts say, okay, fine, you got the end referendum. To me, really, you need to fight at this thing, because I think that is our realistic chance of stopping this thing. So yeah, so the 90-day period, ladies and gentlemen, consider it a constitutional safeguard. with the sole purpose of preventing amendments with the aitwe or ango rashwa or ango it was smuggled through without subjecting them to public scrutiny. That is the intention of that 90-day period. So that is what we want to be talking about. So I mean, we have had questions before about what the amendment is trying to solve, who's going to be benefiting from this change. We all know, we've discussed that, those at length, who loses power or the protection because of the change. We've discussed that. And I mean, what is the evidence, that is there, that is supporting, this amendment? I think, that is key. So yeah, that is what, we want, to be talking about, today. But, as I said, that is the process. That is what is expected, and that is what we should be doing. So I'm hoping that I will have people who also want to bring in ideas. Ideas are also quite important, so that we can discuss this thing to cover so many angles, so many bases, because that is quite important. And at Kadaro, we can be in a position to come out of this with something that is tangible, with something that is meaningful, with something that can easily be passed on from one individual to another. Mofutadas, Murise